Not a second can we spare, 'cause it all comes down to Christmas. We're pulling out our hair, 'cause it all comes down to Christmas. We've got one shot, and it's 24 days away. Time is almost up, and it all comes down to Christmas. Almost Christmas, nearly Christmas Day.
It's time to introduce my fantastic guests, Oscar, Golden Globe, and Tony winners, Ben Pasek and Justin Paul.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
Congratulations for all of your success. And Oscar and the Golden Globe for La La Land, and Tony for Dear Evan Hansen. I'd love to talk a little bit about Christmas Story, the musical, because this was your first amazing success on Broadway.
I think particularly with A Christmas Story, because it's based on a movie that everybody is sort of familiar with and that they've grown up with or that they've watched with their family.
Yeah, if you have the TV on at Christmas time, you can't not
you can't really
see it.
miss it.
Right.
It's a lamp!
The stage show is a more enhanced version of what you know from the film. So many of the moments that you might know, we're able to expand them in fun ways that can only exist on a stage and can only exist in the theater. Ralphie, the character, who everybody knows he wants this BB gun, but he has such a wild imagination. It's such a fantasy. You know, fantasies play out in the film.
Adios, Bart!
But in musical theater, you can really expand and explode those fantasies on stage and create huge production numbers with singing and acting and dancing and costumes that just really enhance the things that I think people love about the film, but that kind of recreate it in a really new and special way.
Ralphie to the rescue! To the rescue! Oh, so brave and so bold, and he's just 9 years old.
When I got a blue, I'm a born buckaroo.
A boy and his gun riding off in the sun. Just watch him go.
I think it makes a good case for seeing the show and for seeing the live telecast, because there's going to be things on the live telecast that you wouldn't see in the stage
and that
show,
you wouldn't
and
be
vice
able
versa.
to do on stage,
Yeah,
and things
exactly.
that we can do on stage that we can't do on
TV
television.
show. Yeah.
So some surprises in store.
Yeah. We're so grateful that there's a touring production of the show that goes out there around the country. We had the privilege of getting to do the show on Broadway back in 2012, 2013, and any writer's dream or hope is what they do could somehow be seen by a wider audience.
He must be somewhere hovering over Indiana. Santa's covering ground and gaining speed.
I've had the chance to go and see this production, which is incredibly entertaining and fun, and it's everything that you would want, I think, in a Christmas experience. You're going to laugh.
I can't put my arms down.
You might cry.
Nothing's crumbling to the ground. Nothing's tumbling from the sky. Notice how the world keeps turning.
The great thing about Christmas Story is that it really could be about any holiday. It's about any time that your family gets together and things are a little bit nuts and chaotic, and there's like extra pressure because your family's all in town. Even though it's about Christmas technically, I think that anyone who celebrates any holiday can come and enjoy themselves at the show, because it's really about family dynamics and not getting along with your brother or your dad or your sister and yet loving them and wanting to be with them. It's a wonderful experience.
A red red car bomb.
Red red car bomb!
Stock with a compass.
With a compass in the stock!
Red red car, my marching baby. Go!
The show is set post the Depression era, so it's in the 1940s, and the movie came out in the 80s, and then people are watching it today. It's really wonderful to see families come in and have grandparents, great-grandparents, kids all getting to watch the same story that is wholesome but a little bit subversive.
I hate to spoil the fun with you'll shoot your eye out. But I'll start kissing that gun goodbye. Well, shoot, it's cute that you desire it. But the moment that you fire it, you'll shoot your eye out.
It really appeals to a really, really wide demographic, but you get to enjoy it as a family, which is something really, really rare. And getting to sit physically in a theater and getting to go through an emotional experience and getting to see a story play out that sort of reminds you of the dysfunction of your own family is a really, really wonderful bonding experience.
There's probably no more connective activity for a family, I think, than to get to go, especially around the holidays, to go and sit in a dark theater and experience something and be able to have a real-time conversation about it at the act break or after the show is over. Those kinds of live experiences are becoming fewer and more far between.
Not a second can we spare, 'cause it all comes down to Christmas.
It's really exciting for us to get to share this show that we spent many years trying to work on and that eventually came to Broadway, and that it gets to travel to theaters around the country, and we get to share that experience with everyone. We're really excited that the show is going back out again this year.
Comes down.